Does your birth plan have to change if your OB doesn't approve? All right, so I am actually just having to address this right now. I saw this recently in a mom group, and the question is, I got some concern that sounded like bad news about my birth plan. Last Wednesday, I spoke to someone about an OBGYN, and the guy said, or at my OBGYN, the guy said that half my birth plan is not acceptable, considering that I'm high risk. So basically, I sent a message through the patient portal to confirm that I won't have any freedom regarding my birth plans and why they would say half of my birth plan is not true. What are your thoughts on this? I feel like I want to move to a different location for birth plan if they cannot fulfill what I'm looking for. Okay, first of all, good job, original poster who asked this question, because that is exactly what you have to do. First of all, just because you're high risk doesn't necessarily mean that your plan goes out the window. In fact, one of my best friends and former client, who's also my partner, and she's also inside my book, Your Empowered Birth, Jenny, had a 15% chance of success with her VBAC. She had chronic high blood pressure, gestational diabetes, group B strep, previous C-section, previous history of postpartum preeclampsia. She was the epitome of being the high-risk mom. And using the system I taught her with the birth plan templates and everything that she created herself. So she created an actual birth plan template based on my birth plan system. That is like, you basically go in, you decide your ideal birth plan, you get past any fears, you come up with your backup plans, and then you bring your ideal birth plan to your care provider. She managed to get a completely unassisted vaginal birth after cesarean in the hospital. So no, first of all, if you're high risk, your birth plan doesn't automatically go out the window. In fact, you can still have a completely natural birth because your body will compensate and do what it needs to do if you follow that physiological process. But let's address the other parts. The OB saying your birth plan, half of it is not approved and you have to change it. Yeah, fire him. Go to a different location. Right on, girl. And this is also why one of my big secrets about the Empowered Birth Method is you create your birth plan first. Before you even plan where you're going to birth, before you even hire your care provider, before you even go and get your childbirth education, you need to have your birth plan figured out so that you come to them, you say, here is my birth plan, person I've just met, and therefore have no attachment to in regards to a relationship, don't have any need to start people pleasing yet, haven't developed that relationship, you're just one of several people that I'm seeing. And then you ask, are you in or are you out? Now, a lot of moms don't know how to do this, but if she had done this, here is what would have happened. If she had brought her birth plan at the beginning of her pregnancy, the OB would have looked at it and said, oh, that's not what we do here, and you're bad and wrong, and we don't approve any of this and because you're high risk. And she would have been like, thank you, I'm going to keep looking, and she'd find somebody else. But I'm really glad that she's already walking, because this is the thing, is that you don't actually need anybody to approve your plan. You don't need anybody to tell you what you're allowed to do. You can birth your baby on your own. And what I teach all my clients is like, even if you're high risk, you're only calling in the medical help that you feel you need. If you don't feel you need it, you don't have to do it. It's a backup plan. It's something that maybe you'll think about if something that you feel is a red flag comes up. Not what they think is a red flag, not what they think their protocols are, but what you think yours are. And I go deeper inside of this in my new program, Your Empowered Birth Academy, which is based off of all of the coaching that I've been doing with my clients for the last several years. It's based on the tools that I teach them in terms of having that confidence to advocate, because sometimes it can be really scary to say to your care provider, doctor, this is what I'm going to be doing. Oh, you don't offer that? Thank you, I'm going to walk. Because some of them will try to scare you into staying in their practice. And some of them will gaslight you and tell you that you're wrong. So part of my system with the Empowered Birth Academy, what I teach is that you need to have the 5 pillars, which are also inside my book, Your Empowered Birth. And that's the right mindset, the right education, the right environment, the right facilitators, and the right support. And part of Your Empowered Birth Academy is building up that right support and that right mindset, because those are the 2 pieces, the bookends of the system that allows you to tune into your intuition, trust your body to do its actual birthing thing, because it's not one size fits all. The labor stages do not help you. Cervical dilation means absolutely nothing. Even signs of labor are not reliable, because I recognize that with the birth of my daughter. And a lot of birth education, while education is helpful, it's not the only piece, because you've been immersed in a culture of fear. You've been immersed in a culture where the medical system is seen as like the experts and you have to convince them to let you do things. You also have grown up in a culture where we've been basically taught as women to be nice without standing up for ourselves. So part of the right mindset is getting past your fear and reestablishing yourself in a way that you feel more confident. And then you bring that to your partner, and your partner becomes your rock. And then your partner and you can basically tackle the medical system. I've done this with my clients. This is based off of the work that I do with couples. And let me just tell you, like, some of these stories have been incredible with what's been going on. So, I mean, go follow what I did way back at the start of July. There was a story of a couple that I'd just been working with where they didn't want to have a 4th C-section. She'd had 3 previous C-sections, been medically gaslit. She was in an area where they didn't support VBAC at all. She was in an area where they were basically pushing her to have a C-section, and they were not going to even let her go past 39 weeks. She had to advocate for herself. She was able to plan a beautiful unassisted home birth, but then she had a moment where she's like, I need to actually go to the hospital. I want to get checked out. Something's not quite right. It turns out that the baby was just tired and her labor had stalled and the baby was in a position that just needed to be repositioned. She got a little bit of help. She got relief from the epidural, but she didn't have a C-section because of the advocacy side of it and her partner not being swayed. Because sometimes it's not just you trying to fight the battle, but your partner is like, they're kind of pulling you back because they're afraid to go against the medical system because they don't have as many tools. So, yeah, I mean, if this mom had been in this appointment with her partner and her partner is told the same things, like, it's too dangerous for your wife to have this kind of birth that she wants because she's high risk, she might not be thinking, I'm going to walk. She might be pushed into going to that hospital anyway because now partner's afraid. So again, if you want to know more about Your Empowered Birth Academy, all you have to do is DM me and I'll give you more details. Okay? And I do also have the modules separately. So if you're just looking to get the advocacy help or getting your partner on board or getting past fear, I do sell them separately as well. However, Your Empowered Birth Academy, just like everything, just like my book, Your Empowered Birth, and everything I teach, everything builds on each other. So having only pieces of the system, if you don't have the rest of the pieces already locked down, can still be challenging. But I wanted to put that out there just because I'm really, really tired of you getting stuck in your fear. I'm really tired of you just getting the education side of things. But that's not going to help you when it comes to actually dealing with the fears that are still holding you back, or your partner or the medical system saying, oh yeah, I know you've done all your research on Dr. Google, but we don't do that here and we're not signing off on your plan and you're going to have to figure this out. And they wait until the very end of your pregnancy to tell you. Like, it just drives me crazy. So again, all you have to do, if you want to check out Your Empowered Birth Academy, you can just send me a message, Carly at empoweringmomsbirth.com, or check out my website and get some of my free resources, empoweringmomsbirth.com/freebies. And I will see you soon. All right. Talk to you later.